All right. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to the replay. Thanks for joining me for another live card making session, or if you're on the replay, I guess it would be recorded session. So I want to make a card tonight using the smushy background that I made last night. So I'm just going to share this over to the group super quick, and then we'll get started. Let's see. Post and enlarge. Okay, there we go. Hey, Mary. Okay, so I did pull out every bit of wonderful, our not our stamp of the month, our Operation Smile stamp set, so that I can use maybe just some of these leafy parts, but definitely use one of the sentiments. And remember that $7 from the sale of this particular stamp set, D1977, every bit of wonderful, goes towards Operation Smile. It's a charity that provides life-saving surgeries to children with cleft palates and cleft lips in third world countries. So only $240 gets a surgery. So imagine $7 adds up really quick. If you want to order this stamp set, you can order it directly from my site. You can even make a donation straight to Operation Smile from my site. You don't even have to buy anything. You can just make a straight donation, and all of that straight donation goes to the charity. But if you'd like to order a stamp set that also benefits, this is the stamp set that we're offering, D1977, every bit of wonderful. Okay, so last night we used some Distress Oxides, which is a new product we're carrying. Hey, Mom. And we used some on our all-purpose mat and then sprayed it down, and so it made all that watery ink. And so one of the techniques for Distress Oxide is to smush your card into that ink and pick it up, so that then you can have this kind of funky background. It's all, there's no pattern or anything to it. It's just basically as if you took, which is literally what I did. Took a piece of cardstock and put it into that ink blob and let the paper soak it up. So it's got all these interesting patterns and colors. And tonight what we're going to do is add a little bit more of a pattern using the honeycomb stencil out of our 3-pack stencil sets. And so I'm just going to add some here, a little bit here and there, just for a little bit more background. And then we're going to emboss our sentiment, and like I said, a little bit of the leaves or something, just for some extra design onto our card. So let's get started. I have my all-purpose mat, and this is a silicone mat that's super easy to clean up. It's great for working with these kinds of inks because you can just clean up super simple right afterwards. I can also get my chamois. I do have my roll of paper towels that I have figured out is a must-have in your craft room. Okay. I have officially completed my collection of oxide inks that we carry. And so I think I want to use, the picked raspberry and a little bit of this chipped sapphire. Some over here and a little bit over here, just to give it some design. I'm not sure what it'll look like, but we're gonna try it out. And I'm not gonna tape anything down. I'm just gonna basically hold it down with my hand. I think that'll be fine, as long as and the craft mat is a little bit sticky, so it will hopefully help keep things from slipping and sliding. Okay, so I do have my sponge tip from the other day where I did use the pinks. And I'm just gonna ink it up some more so that I can apply it here. So let me say hi to a few people. Hey Lily, hello Karen, hello Azan. Thanks you guys for joining. So remember, wherever I put this ink, obviously in the stencil, it's gonna make it darker and make that design onto our background. So I'm gonna start by pressing lightly. And I'm not even gonna try to make anything complete. I'm just going in a small circle here. So some of my honeycomb is gonna be a little bit darker than the other. And then I'm gonna put some down here. And I wanna use that chipped sapphire, this blue color. I really think it came out pretty neat, pretty nice, and I like that color. And in fact, I cut my background cardstock to make my card using that sapphire color. So let me switch out my sponge tips and I'll just ink that up. And I'm just gonna give it some down here. I'm still gonna cut this cardstock down. Let me put this away. I'm still gonna cut it down so it can fit on my card front. And put everything away here because I've started losing things. Okay, so now I've just got that little bit of design. And now I want to, let me take my paper towel and rub it. I don't know how wet it is, and I don't want to stick my fingers in there and get them all, get a fingerprint on there. Okay, what I am gonna do though is maybe spritz it with a little bit of water. See if we can get some active. See if we can get it to activate. Awesome. And then I'm gonna just dry off that paper. There we go. So we've got those little ink spots where the water droplets were. And so far, nice and subtle, but we've got this crazy background going. And we're gonna tone it down with our embossing. And then when we use our stitched rectangle to cut it out, it'll look nice and clean with those clean cut edges. That's my favorite part because that takes all of this. This is very new to me. I'm not likely to have a messy background. I like my cards kind of clean looking. Okay, so this is like very, you know what, I better heat set this. This is very different for me. But I am going to heat set it just in case because I don't want this wet ink, if any of it's wet, I don't want it to smear or pick up all that embossing powder. Hello, Jessica. Let me just try and flatten it out one more time. Okay. And now we can use our powder just to make sure we don't have any static on there. And you are are every bit of wonderful. That sounds so nice. Okay. I just like to lay it down flat and then pick it up with the block. And I'll just ink it up. I'm gonna put it right there. Squish that in there really good. Okay, and I think I'm gonna take this little leafy thing and stamp it around a few times as well. Kind of just some random leaves. Okay. And see. Here we go with our funnel paper. Now I'm using the silver embossing powder, super fine detail. This is different than the stencil embossing powder, which I just got in. The stencil powder, remember, it's the one that's mixed with the glitter, and so it's not smooth. It's got some texture to it. But I think, considering all that I've got going on the card, I think that the fine detail is probably the better way to go. And I can't see where my images are, so I just have to kind of cover everything. I am going with a silver, since I'm going with a blue card. I thought the silver would look pretty cool with it. And I'm gonna just give it a second coat now that I can see where everything is. Funnel that in. That's a pretty full jar there. It'll last me a long while. So now just heat set that. Oh no. I hope that you're still seeing this. My internet is being not cooperative. I'm really liking how that silver looks. Awesome. Oh, I hope y'all are liking it so far because it looks pretty cool from my vantage point. Okay, let's see. What kind of stuff can I put away? I don't need this or this. I'm done with these. I'm even done with this. Let me clean it off. So now I need to cut down this card piece. I'm just using the stitched rectangle to make sure we get Make sure we get our rectangle where we want it. No. So I'm going to end up cutting off some of the embossing, which is okay because I did spread it around the card so that I would have lots of spaces. And I'll just run that through. All the way through, all the way through. That pops just where it cuts through it. And it cut through it. It spit out that piece of paper. Okay, so now we should have a nice, clean, pretty background. And we sure do. I love that. Looks good, looks good. See all this messy mess that we cut off. We don't need it. Okay. So, oh, but you know what? I have one more piece that I want to cut through because I am using a dark card. And so I need something to go on the inside. I'm just gonna cut that off here to the side real quick. You're not missing any action. Okay, so I'm just gonna I'm just gonna adhere that inside the card. Nothing fancy, nothing fancy. And now we've got our card front that we can put that down onto. I'm still feeling some not so straightness. You can see, look at that card. It's all kinds of funky looking, not straight. Let's see. I don't think my brayer's gonna help. Okay, so in that case, let's use a big sheet of foam on the back. It's a little bit smaller so that it can help stabilize it. Where are my foam sheets? And the foam I'm talking about is just sheets of foam that you get at Walmart in the kids craft section. It comes a big old pack. They're super cheap. Let me see. Let me give myself some margin. Let's do it this way. A little bit margin. There we go. Now I can cut the rest of that. The nice thing is it already has adhesive on the back side. So, fits great. So it's like adding a big old piece of foam tape. Because it's, you know, what foam tape is made out of. There we go. And that's going to help stabilize it a lot to keep it more flat. And so now we need to adhere it onto here. And just adding that dimension is going to make that super pretty. I'm wondering if I can add some string to it, even though, I mean, I'm not thrilled with the flat color compared to the shiny. Let me see what else I have. Oh, I should have some silver floss. How about that? Okay, so we have some embellishing thread, and it is nice and shiny, and it's not very bulky. So if I go around the card a couple of times with it, it won't even add any bulk. But I think all those lines kind of make a difference. Come on, come on. It's not going to be tight, but it will work. Right. So now we've got some string, giving us another texture. If I can separate them. Don't judge my nail. I lost a couple today. Let's see. What if we get our... Thank you, Jessica. I like it. It's, you know, a little bit messy, but I think, you know, we're incorporating some techniques that I do like, that are, you know, clean cut, that I'm used to, and so it's a good mix. Oh, that string really does help add a little bit of something, something, something. And it's close to my heart. We have it in silver and in gold. And now I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to adhere it, because I'm afraid this might not be strong enough. So I'm wondering if I should use... I don't think liquid glue worked the last time, because I think it ran into the foam. Let me try. Nope. See, it won't even make the dots. Let's see if we press hard. I'm just kind of feeling like it's not gonna stay. Oh, could be wrong. Let's see. Well, it appears to stick. Awesome. Cool, 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 cool. I thought I was gonna have to use a liquid glue. I think after that sits a little, and as long as I don't try pulling it apart, it should totally stay. Yay, 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 yay. Okay, so before we finish it off, a little bit of bling. Yes. Some clear bling. A few little dots. Let's see what we've got. I just had those ones from yesterday. Look at these. How about these? There we go. Just a little bit of bling. Little bit. How about that? That is not bad. I was a little not sure how that would go, but I think that works out. Let me pull that in a little closer so you can see. Hello, Jan, Alan, J. Herrera. Hi, guys. How about that? See all those colors blending in, that stenciling, the embossing, the bling, the red. I keep that separated a little, or not. I guess it's gonna stay all together like that. But we got our dimension. It's not actually that bad on the crinkling, on the puffiness. It's flattening out for the most part. So I think if I keep something heavy on it, it will for sure. But if not, I mean, it's pretty cool though. If it's obvious that this is something that is handmade, but I really like all of that. It's growing on me a lot. Like I want to try a little bit more of this kind of crazy stuff. Thanks, Karen. So there we go. I think the embossing helps tone it down, maybe, even though I kind of feel like embossing is, like, you know, a little bit higher up on the levels. But I don't know. I hope you like it. It's really cool. In person, you can really appreciate all the fine little details, all the little ways that the water, oh, there you go. Look, you can see in the honeycomb, all the way that the water splatters on it. I'm pretty sure that looks like my fingerprint. Maybe not. All this little smoky effect from when we smooshed it yesterday. But then we've got our honeycomb today. Some white spots. So I like that when the background kind of peeks through as well. There you go. There we go. Thanks, Lily. Okay, so, oh, it really contrasts well with this sapphire paper too. I thought either black or a craft, but I like the blue to coordinate with the blue we were using. So, okay, there we go, guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. Thanks for taking a chance with me. Gosh, I was a little bit worried about if we'd get something nice out of the deal, but we did. So, what's today? Wednesday. Have a great Wednesday evening, and we'll catch you tomorrow around 8 o'clock. See you then. Bye-bye.